Well, like I just said, I think you guys were privy to a really good college basketball game tonight. I mean, that was two really good offensive teams going toe-to-toe. I have so much respect for, Coach and his program at Columbia. I knew this was going to be a really tough game. The way our schedule was laid out, having to play Wednesday night, having to try to prepare for this team on one day. They've been off all week to really lock in on us. And I know how good they are. I watched Lowe play in the FIBA World Championships with Dirk Nowitzki this summer. So you do that, you're pretty good. And, Rosenberg and Mullins are grown men. They're kids who are fifth-year seniors. And Petrosic, their big kid. I mean, that's a really good basketball team. And still trying to figure out how we pulled it off. The numbers analytically would probably prove to be a little bit of an anomaly how we won that game with points off turnovers, points in the paint. But I just thought it was our will. Our guards were fantastic. Pretty good 21st birthday for BMAC. 32 points and 6 assists, being hounded the whole game by their guards. I mean, just a heroic performance. And I thought Trey – am I in trouble? Okay. And I thought Trey was back to being Trey tonight. Trey was putting a lot of pressure on himself the first two nights because he cares so much. He wants it so badly. He's a senior. He wants to win. He wants to be that guy. And sometimes that can work against you. And I thought he just got back to playing. He made strong moves. And really, though, and you guys are going to talk to him, the guy who changed the whole game was Gavin. I talked to Gavin yesterday. He didn't get a chance to play against Fairfield. Talked to him about just being ready when your number was called. I didn't know when it was going to be, but I knew at some point we were going to go to him. And you take advantage of your opportunities. And I'm really proud of Gavin. He didn't play the whole first half. He didn't play our whole game Wednesday. He comes into a game where we're really searching for energy in life. And just his singular enthusiasm, I thought, changed the whole game. And that's what you need. That's what you need because you're not going to play great every night. And that being said, I thought we did a lot of good things. It was good to see us make shots. I've told you guys that's kind of who we are. We're a little bit of a jump shooting team. We have Alex, we have Joey, and then we have guys we have shooters. So we got to take our shots. We got to shoot them with confidence. We got to try to find a way with the rules. I thought our guys did a better job tonight, but we got to continue to try to find ways to get to the foul line. We're not doing that as well as we can. But down the stretch, we got the stops we needed. We went zone for a while just to slow them down. They were dicing us up early. Just went zone just to try to slow them down a little bit. I thought it worked for a little bit, and then they got a rhythm against that. So then we went back to man, and then I thought the last 15 minutes of the game or so, our man was good into the overtime. So great win for our program. 3-0, great start. Excited about the opportunity to go to Kansas City and play the #1 team in the country on Monday.
Chris, did Columbia take your centers away from you in the first
half,
or was it your own offense?
I think both. I think they were doing a really good job of denying our bigs. I don't think we're doing a particularly good job when they do get open. We're not hitting them on time. And we have to take a look at that on the film. We got to practice that a little better because we got to get them touches. And then what happened is in the second half, I didn't feel, they weren't guarding our pick and rolls well at all. I mean, when you find something, you just got to go with it. And they were having a really hard time defending us in screen roll with BMAC and Trey. So we just went to it, and we got shots and got a rhythm and kind of stayed in that mode and rode those two guys because they were playing so well.
Coach, what did you think of the atmosphere tonight, and how did that help your team?
I thought it was better. It was kind of, I don't know if it was the LA late arriving or the weather or whatever, but I thought it was really good in the second half. Ideally, I wanted to continue to build. I think it makes a big difference for our guys. There wasn't a lot of energy in the building to start the game, and it's like we can't rely on that. But I don't think we need to drum that up a little bit more so that our guys have a little juice to start the game. I thought we were a little flat-footed early. I thought they had a little more life and took it to us early before we responded. So down the stretch, though, I thought the students were fantastic. Kudos to the soccer team. I know they had a personal connection with Rosenberg's brother being on the team, and I wish it would have worked a little bit better. The guy only made like his first 5 or 6 shots. But it was great to see those guys out supporting us tonight.
Coach, the way that Brian's playing right now, particularly on offense, what's that doing for Trey and his game?
Well, it takes pressure off him. There's no question where Trey doesn't feel like he has to do everything. And we have to I mean, it was good to win the game, and we rode those guys tonight, but we got to get other contributors. We got to get, obviously Aaron, had a tough night. Certainly we feel he's going to be a double-figure scorer for us. We feel our big guys can give us the scoring. We need to get better play out of Scotty Lindsey, Taphorn, those guys, because they can help. They can help, and we're going to be a collective effort, but there's no question. We rely on our guards, just like a lot of teams do. And, I was just really proud of those two kids. I thought they played like stars tonight against a really good backcourt they were playing against.
Petrusek had a really big game for
did.
them. He had 15 points, 8 rebounds. Did you know he was going to be a tough matchup for Ola coming in?
I did. He had 19 and 8 the other night against Kansas State on the road. So, I mean, he's played really well so far this year, and his ability to drive the ball, to hit threes, he's mobile. I knew he was. I mean, he gets 15, 8, and 4 assists. I mean, gives them a great game tonight. He's a heck of a player. Heck of a player.
Mentioned it just a little bit and briefly at the end of your statement, but that game Monday, what kind of challenge is that going to be for your kids, and what kind of opportunity is it going to be for them as well?
Well, it's going to be pretty challenging. From firsthand experience, I know I've had the opportunity to compete against that program for a lot of years and have nothing but amazing respect for Coach Williams and everything that Carolina basketball stands for. They're one of the best. They have been forever. They have a great team. They have a veteran team. The thing that it's going to be, we have to really get our legs back tonight and tomorrow into Sunday, because what they do, I think they're the best in the country in transition basketball. They push the ball and they make you play at a frenetic pace the whole game. And because of that, we're going to have to be really smart. We can't turn the ball over. We're going to have to try to limit their transition the best we can. And then the other thing they do is they're unbelievable on the glass. And for us, it was good to see us out-rebound them tonight. I think Gavin had a big, hand in that. Just having two bigger guys in there, I thought, helped with our rebounding. And it's going to be a great opportunity. I mean, there's no pressure on us. We can go out there. They're a great team, maybe the best in the country right now. Everyone says they're number one. So it's on a national stage to play in a great venue. I had the opportunity to be in that tournament a few years ago. It's a great tournament. I'm excited about it. I know the guys are too. And but really, to be honest, I knew this game was going to be a tough one. So I haven't thought about North Carolina one bit, but I'm going to get a little something to eat, maybe a little slight, good, clean American fun, in the word of Coach Fitz, and get to work on the Tar Heels.
A couple minutes ago, you briefly mentioned Scotty Lindsey as a guy you need to get going.
Mm-hmm.
7 minutes tonight, didn't play in the second half or overtime. Was there a reason for that?
I just went with Gavin, and then we found something with that lineup, so I just stuck with that lineup. So, I mean, that's nothing disciplinary, nothing. I didn't think he played particularly well in the first half, and I just wanted to give Gavin a shot. And Gavin played really well, so I ended up playing Gavin 15 minutes in the second half, and that was all just me kind of trying to find a group that was playing well. So, I mean, we're going to need Scotty Lindsey. There's no question about it. We all know it, and we need to find a way to get some production out of him going forward.
Coach, you guys went into halftime down on the other end of a 9-2 run. I guess what was just the mentality in halftime? What do you tell the team?
Yeah, I was disappointed because, we were getting our butts kicked, and then we made a great run and tied it at 26. And I thought we were back in the game. We had some, and then we had to sub a little bit. I think Sanjay got his second foul, and I took him out of the game. And we didn't defend well the last few minutes of the half, and then they go into the half with a 7-point lead. So I wasn't very happy the way we finished, because I thought we really fought to get the game tied. What were they at, 14, 12? And we fought hard to tie it there at 26, and then we kind of let it all get away. And then, I thought we made a good run to start the second half, and then they jumped right. Then they scored 9 straight again and pushed it back out to 12. So every time we tried to make a run at them, I mean, shows they're a good team. They kept pushing it out, and then little by little we got it back to even, and had that last possession. I didn't want to take a timeout there, because a lot of times then they can set a defense, and I had my best guy with the ball with an open floor. And sometimes you can overcoach it in that situation. I mean, the only thing I would have drawn up is to get Trey space to make a play and try to get a shot. And I thought that's his favorite move. that little step back going left, just came up a little short, and found a way to win an OT.
I think you're up 3 with 9.9 seconds left in overtime.
Yeah.
And they were able to dribble the ball down the court and get a timeout with 2.8. Was there a plan to foul?
Yes.
That was the plan.
On a dribble. On a dribble. We told the guys, because you got to be careful at 2.8. If you try to foul on catch, the guy will go. So our thing was we were switching everything. And the moment, if you switched out on everything, the moment your guy put the ball on the floor, we were trying to foul. And Lowe did a pretty good job. He kind of snaked away from BMAC. And fortunately, we talked well on the backside. They had a flare screen going for Rosenberg, and we sniffed it out and played it. But we were definitely going to foul.
Another point, so the back screens and the flares especially, you guys got lost on a bunch of them, and they got a lot of free open layups at the basket.
I thought they were more back cuts. You could look at it. They were back doors. It wasn't so much flares. It was those dribble at moves, and guys were just cutting back door.
Communication.
Yeah, I mean, we prepared for it, and we said no back. We wanted to keep our chest in front of guys. I think a couple times it was low, and we were trying to deny him, so you're in a little bit of a pinch because you know you don't really want him to get it back late clock. And then he did a great job of cutting, and they spread the floor. So I don't know if it was as much flare screens as it was just backdoor cuts. I think they got us 3 or 4 times on those, and a couple times out of timeouts. Which is what good teams do, and we had to do a better job. And, it was definitely talked about, but, such is life. Sometimes you don't always execute. But that was they did a good job beating us on those plays.